Good morning, children. Welcome to your science video lecture. So, children, as you already know that in our previous video, we have started chapter number 7 from your book, which is by the name Getting to Know Plants, right? And in that particular video, we have done few topics from the chapter. Now, this video is continuation of the first part of the video. So, those who have not watched the video, they can go and watch the video number first, okay? And after watching the first part of the video, they can come and watch the second part of the video so that you understand the chapter in whole, as a whole, right? So, students, now we are going to continue the second part. In our previous part, the topic we were discussing was functions of leaves, okay? And in functions of leaves, we have discussed transpiration. Now we are going to discuss the second function of which is photosynthesis. So what is photosynthesis? Now let's understand what is photosynthesis. So as you already know that plants prepare their food by themselves, right? So how they prepare their food? So plants make their own food with the help of water, okay? Water in the presence of sunlight, okay? Leaves make their own food in the presence of sunlight with the help of water, okay? From the soil and carbon dioxide in the air. Okay, so what they do, plants take carbon dioxide and water, okay, and in the presence of sunlight, okay. So with the help of all these three things, plants prepare their own food, okay. And so as you all already know that plants are green in color, leaves of the plants are green in color. This is due to the presence of chlorophyll, okay. This the green color, the green pigmentation is due to the presence of chlorophyll in the leaves. So what happened? Plant prepare their own food in the presence of sunlight with the help of water from the soil and the carbon dioxide from the air. And what happens is that chlorophyll traps sunlight and then provides energy to the plant for making their food, okay. This whole process is known as photosynthesis, okay. And this food is stored in the form of glucose, okay. All the food is stored in the form of glucose. And what happens, children? Plants also releases oxygen in this process, okay. So in simple words, what is photosynthesis? Photosynthesis is defined as a process which helps leaves prepare food for the plant with the help of carbon dioxide and water in the presence of sunlight and green pigment in leaf, that is chlorophyll. So if we simply say what is photosynthesis? Photosynthesis is the process which helps the leaves to prepare the food with the help of carbon dioxide and water in the presence of sunlight and green pigmentation which is in the leaf, that is known as chlorophyll, okay. And the food prepared is stored in various parts of the plant in the form of starch, okay. All the food that are prepared by the leaves is stored in the form of starch in different parts of the plant. Now okay, children, so to check that, in order to check or see that plants really perform photosynthesis, let us take a leaf and immersate it in a test tube filled with spirit. What you have to do in this activity to check, what we are going to do, we are going to check that is leaves really perform photosynthesis or not. So first of all, what we have to do, we have to take a leaf and we have to put the leaf in a spirit solution. After that, place the test tube in a beaker filled with water, then heat the beaker, okay. Then we have to heat the beaker after we have put it the solution, put the leaf in the beaker filled with water. After the leaf loses its color, wash it and pour iodine solution over it. Then what we have to do, when the leaf has lost all its color, okay, we have to put the leaf in a container filled with water and we have to wash the leaf. And after washing the leaf, then we have to perform this part, which is we have to put 2 to 3 drops of iodine solution over it. So we can see that it turns blue black in color. So if the leaf turns blue black in color, it shows that there is a presence of starch. Okay, if you remember children, we have done this activity to check whether a food item contain starch in it or not in our chapter number 2. Okay, so those who have seen the videos and go through the videos and also go through the chapter, they all know that we have already know that how to check the presence of starch in a food item or in a leaf. Also we do the similar thing. Okay children, so this was photosynthesis. What is photosynthesis? Photosynthesis is defined as the process which helps the leaves to prepare food for the plant in the presence of what is required for photosynthesis: carbon dioxide, water and sunlight. Okay, and also chlorophyll. Now let's move on children. Now we are going to talk about modification of leaves. What is the meaning of the word modification? Children, modification can simply be understood that how leaves has modified themselves, means how they have increased the functions, that the general functions of leaf we have discussed, that is transpiration and photosynthesis. But in some plants what happen, leaves tends to increase their function due to some lack of different type of things. Okay, so what are those modification that leaf perform? Let's see. The first modification is leaf tindalese. What is tindalese? As you can see this picture here, this thin structure, okay, this thin structures, the curl structure is known as tindalese. What are these? As you might have seen the plants of pea or sweet pea. So what happens, leaves are modified into long slandered coiled structures called tindalese. Okay, so these long slandered and coiled structure is known as tindalese. These are used by the plants for climbing. Okay, what is the function of these leaves? They they works as a climbing structure. Okay, whatever the object is around the tindalese, they climb the tindalese climb through the structure or the object. Leaves are fully or partially modified to help the plant climb a support. Okay, so these leaves modify themselves to support the plant as to climb themselves. Okay, so what are tindalese? Tindalese are generally, as you can see in both the pictures, this is a tindalese. Okay, leaf when they modify themselves in a long cylindrical coil structured. Okay, and what is the work of these tindalese? They basically help the plant to in climbing. Okay, so this was the first function or first modification of leaf. The second modification of leaf is leaf spines. So you might have seen cactus plant, pineapple. Okay, so you might have observed that there are spines on both these type of plants. Why? What is the reason for this? In cactus and plants such as modifies into spines that are sharp pointed structures, right? These spines are sharp and pointed structure. Why this happens? These structures protect the plants from grazing animals. Okay, first of all, what is the function of these modification of leaf, that the pointed leaf? It is they basically protect the plant from grazing animals, and in dry areas they helps the leaves to reduce the spines to prevent loss of water by transpiration. So as you already know, in transpiration leaves what happens, leaf loses its water, right, in the form of vapors. So what happens during where the dry places, in the dry places leaf modify themselves and they turns into spines so that the transpiration process can be, to prevent the plant from the transpiration process. Okay, so leaf spines. Next is leaf modifies to eat insects. So there are some plants which those who eats plants, that is plants are carnivorous plants. So in some carnivorous plants the leaves are modified into pitcher or blade like structures. So you can see these are the leaves of these plants. It is like a pitcher or a blade like structure, right? Or trap, hold and digest insect and small animals. Okay, so they do what? These leaves, they basically trap the animals and digest the animals. Okay, small animals. These trapped animals are digested within these structures and serve as a source of nitrogen to the plant. Okay, so there are some plants which those who are carnivorous. Okay, they eat different small insects, and they eat insects because to fulfill the source of nitrogen. And these all digestion of these plants, the digestion of these animals takes place within these leaves. Okay, so the blade like structures is these blade like structures are the leaves of this plant. Okay. Okay, so the next topic is roots. Now we are going to study about roots. So what are roots? The root is very important component of the plant system for a simple reason, that is, in the absence of root, the plant ceases to exist. There is no existence of plant if there is no root, because roots are basically helping the plants to hold the soil for the growth, right? So roots are generally grown under the ground, right? These are the structures. I hope that all of you know what is roots. So roots are generally grown under the ground. Okay, now let's see what are the different types of roots. So there are two types of roots. One is taproot and the other one is fibrous root. Let's see what is taproot. Taproot is, in this type of root system, there is a prominent and long root and a bunch of smaller roots which grows from the main root called lateral root. So this is the picture, students. This is the picture of taproot. Okay, so taproot is generally what? Taproot is long root. Okay, and it holds it is a bunch of roots. The other bunch of roots, they grow from the lateral root. Okay, they grow from the main root. And so you can see that the main root is this is the main root, so it grows vertically down into the soil, and other roots, the lateral roots, they comes out from the main root. Okay, and also, students, as you can see that this root, the tap root, goes down inside the soil pretty deep. Okay, so one more thing is that which type of plant shows this type of root. Okay, tap root means, so plants those who shows reticulate venation. Okay, reticulate venation is what, students? Reticulate venation is basically the pattern of the veins, right? So those leaves which shows pattern as web like pattern, that is known as reticulate venation. So those leaves or plants have reticulate venation, they will have tap root. Okay, and what is tap root? Tap root is a long, you can say long and vertical, it goes vertically down into the soil. Okay, and other lateral roots, other roots, smaller roots, they grow from the main root. So the main root is this one, which is going vertically down into the soil, deep down into the soil. Okay, this is the primary root, or you can say main root. Other roots, lateral roots, they are smaller roots which is coming from the primary root. Okay, and which type of plant shows have a lateral tap root? Those which shows reticulate venation. Okay, and to observe that which type of plant will have tap root, you just have to observe the leaf, right? And in those leaf, if it has reticulate venation, it means that is a tap root. Okay, now let's move on to the second type of root, which is fibrous root. So as you can see that fibrous root, they are generally spreading out in all the direction, but they do not grow very deep into the soil, right? You can see that these roots, they are pretty small, right? They grows in all the direction, They are growing in all the direction, but the length of the root is pretty small. So you can say they don't dig in deep down into the soil. In this type of root system, a group of similar size root emerges from the base of the plant. They do not have a main root. So there is no main root. You can see here in these all three pictures that there is no main root. All the roots, they have similar size, almost similar size, and they are growing from the base of the plant. Okay, so this is the base of the plant, and all the roots are growing from the base of the plant with similar size, almost similar size, and they don't go deep down into the soil. Whereas taproot, as it has a main root and other lateral roots, it goes vertically deep down into the soil. Okay, and which type of plants will have these type of roots? Fibrous roots, plants showing parallel venation. So if you want to observe that what type of a root will a plant have, you just have to observe the leaves of the plant. Okay, and if you see that a plant shows parallel venation, it means it is going to have a fibrous root. And if a plant shows reticulate venation, it means the root of that plant is taproot. Okay, so this is how you can see that which type of root the plant has without digging the plant. Okay, students, now let's move on to the functions of root. Okay, so students, if you try to pull out a plant from the ground, let's say you are trying to pull out a plant from a ground, it will not come out easily, right? What fixes the plant firmly to the ground is the root. So you can simply say that root work as an anchor. What is an anchor? Anchor is the holding root acts as an anchor between the plant and the soil. An anchor is something you might have seen which is used to hold a thing. Okay, it is something like this anchor which is used in the ships. Okay, boat and ships. Okay, which helps the boat and ship to hold it to the ground. Okay, similarly as the boat or ship is anchor holds the boat and ship to from the ground, so that the boat and ship doesn't flow down in the water. Similarly, root helps the plant to hold itself in deep into the ground. Okay, so the first function of the root is to work as an anchor. Okay, work as an anchor, which is what it does. Root is firmly anchoring the plant in the ground. This is essential to support the upright position of the plant. Okay, so this was the first function, which is it works as an anchor for the plant. Next is, if you see that the plant or the root. Okay children, for the next function, let's say that we have cut the roots of a plant, okay, and fix it into the ground. What will happen? Can the plant survive? Definitely not. It will never survive, right? It will dry up after some time. Why is it so? This is because the root absorb water and minerals present in the soil, and water and mineral salts reaches the stem, okay, through the root and then to the different branches, and through the branches it goes to the different system of the plants. But the main source, the main thing that is required to absorb the water and minerals from the ground is root. Okay, so if there is no root, a plant cannot survive. So the second function of the root is to absorb minerals and water from the soil and transfer them to the stem, and after that stem transfer it to the different parts of the plants. Okay, and one third main function of the root is it basically helps in soil erosion. Okay, prevent it from soil erosion. Okay, as root also binds the soil particles together, thus it prevents the soil from soil erosion. So these were the three main functions of the root. Now let's move on. Now we are going to talk about modification of roots. Okay, so in some plants roots perform other functions also. Okay, that is, the first function is, or you can say the first modification is storage of food. Okay, So as you can see here, some pictures: carrot, beetroot, radish, turmeric, uh, turnip, sorry. These all are roots, okay, and all these has stored food inside them, okay. So root also perform the function of storing important nutrition and food for the growth of the plant, okay. And there are some roots that are edible. All these are edible roots. We eat these all roots, okay. So when plant, for the modification of the plant roots modified themselves to store the store the food, okay, to store all the nutrition in the food. And some of these roots we also eat. So children, the next function of the root is next modification of the root is to give extra support. Okay, root are modified to give extra support. As you can see here in this picture, this is the picture of a banyan tree. So what happens here is that the banyan tree has roots that grows down from the branches, right? These are the branches and all the roots are growing from the branches here. As these roots reaches the ground, what they do, they fix themselves to the ground, okay. As here you in this picture you can see that they have fixed themselves in the soil and give support. They are giving support to the spreading branches, okay. Why? Because the huge size of the tree, due to the huge size of the tree, all the branches cannot be held by a single stem, single trunk and the roots. So roots modify themselves and they work as a prop root, okay. What is a prop root? Prop root is basically the roots that are acting as a prop, okay. Prop, as they are holding the whole tree, okay. From the branches, the roots, they came out from the branches and they fix themselves into the soil, and basically they are giving support to the branches of the tree so that the tree the tree doesn't fall down. So you can see that in such plants like banyan tree, bamboos and other, roots hang downwards from the heavy branches, okay. They are known as pop roots. Here also you can see this is a picture of root of bamboo tree, okay. So all the roots, they are coming from the branches to get a stronger hold in the soil, okay, so that the tree or the bamboo, they doesn't fall off from the ground. So this is what the modification, second type of modification of root is, okay. What are the two modification? First one is root modify themselves as a storing unit, or you can say they store food inside them. And the second one is they, to give extra support to the plant, they have modified themselves, okay. And what is the modification? I have already explained to you, okay. They work as a prop root. Now we will move on to the next point, which is flowers. Now we are going to talk about flowers. So here you might have observed that there are different beautiful types of flowers. Some are some have very pleasant smell, some have normal smell, some doesn't have any smell. So what is basically a flower? A flower is the colorful and seed bearing part of the plant, okay. It is a colorful and seed bearing part of the plant which grows at the end of the stem. So I hope that all of you have seen different type of flowers, which is rose, this is hibiscus, or you can say China rose, okay. So the lily, okay. So these all type of different type of flowers, they basically are the most attractive part of a plant, okay. The flower is the most delicate and you can see that highly specialized part of the whole plant system, and it consists of reproductive structures. It has reproductive structures, reproductive part, okay. And it may be found that all the flowers, all of them, they don't have very pretty long life, okay. And flowers have different type of scents. All the flowers, they don't have scents, but there are some flowers which have some stronger scents, some flowers which don't have smells, some have sweet smell, okay. So these are the different type of scents that come out from the flower. And flower usually lives only for a short period of time and then it develops into fruit, Okay, and the fruit bears different type of seeds. Okay, for the plantation of the for the plantation we use those seeds. Now we are going to talk about flowers and its structure. Okay, so let's move on. Now we are going to talk about parts of flowers, or you can also say structure of the flower. So a flowers typically consist of the following parts that we are going to study. The main four parts of the flowers are silex, corolla, stamen and carpel. Okay. Now first of all we are going to start with receptacle. Okay, it is the base of the flower to which all the parts of the flowers are attached. Okay, it is the base of the flower to which all the parts of the flowers are attached. So this part is known as receptacle. Okay, to which all the parts of the plants or all the parts of the flowers are attached. Okay, here these are the parts of the plants flower. These are the petals. Petals are basically the leaf, the pankhuriya of the flower. Okay, this is the stamen, style. Okay, this is stigma, this is style here, this thin like structure, and this is the ovary here. Okay, and this pipe like structure here, this is the filament, and this topmost part, these are the anthers of the flower. This is the basic structure of flower. Now let's discuss these whole parts in detail. Okay, the first part that we are going to talk about is sepals. Okay, they are the green leaf like part in the outermost circle of a flower. So you can see this part and here this part. Okay, these are the sepals of a flower, which is a green leaf like structure, okay, in the outermost circle of the flower, and all sepals taken together. If we talk about this single piece is known as sepals, but if we talk about this whole part, then we are going to call it as silex. Okay, together we call it as silex. But if we talk about the only single part, then we are going to say it as, or we are going to call it as sepals. Okay, so what are sepals? Sepals are these green leaf like parts, okay, which basically holds the whole flower. Okay, what is the work of it? They protect the flower during the bud stage. Okay, when the flower is not grown up, they basically protect the flower from the budding stage. Okay, and you can see here in both the pictures that some of the sepals they are joined together, whereas some of the sepals they are separated. Okay, so these leaf like structure at the very beginning of the flower is known as sepals. Okay, now let's move on. Now we are going to talk about petals. So what is petals? Petals are these part of the plant. Okay, this part of the plant. These are the petals. These are the colorful parts of the plant together known as corolla. Okay, corolla, what is corolla? If we take all these 1 2 3 4 5, all these 5 petals, then we are going to call it as corolla. But if we are talking about the single part, okay, then we are going to call it as petal. Okay, and petals together, when we talk about the whole petals, bunch of petals, then we will call it as corolla, and known as corolla, and are present inside the sepals. Okay, present inside the sepal means this is sepals, and above the sepals or inside the sepal all the petals are there. Okay, they attract insect for pollination and protect the reproductive organ of the flower. Okay, here in the middle part of these flowers, these are the reproductive part of the flower. So the work of petals are just to attract other insects for the purpose of pollination, and also they protect the reproductive organs of the flower. Okay, and as you can observe in both the pictures, some of the petals they are joined together like this petals. Okay, and some of the petals they are separated like here in the second part of the picture. Okay, I hope petals are clear to you. Together we call petals as corolla. Okay, let's move on. Next is stamen. Okay, so here you can see the picture of stamen. Okay, this is a stamen. Stamen has two parts. First one is anther. This above part is anther, and this pipe-like structure is known as filament. Okay, which supports the work of the filament is to support the anther, and anther is this structure. Okay, okay, so these are the whole part is known as stamen. Okay, and what is the work of a stamen? It is the male reproductive part of the plant, or sorry, flower. Okay, and it consists of anther and filament. So a stamen has two parts. Here also you can see in this picture, this the third picture, this whole is a stamen. Okay, and this upper part is anther and the lower part is filament. Similarly, in this picture, this upper part is anther, the pipe like structure is filament, and here in this picture, middle picture, all these are stamen. Okay, so here lots of stamen are there. So to see that single one, here you can see this upper part is anther and the middle and the pipe like structure is filament. Okay, and what is anther? Anther is a sac like structure. You can see it is a sac like structure, and which has all the products and stored pollens. Okay, inside it pollens are there. So if you cut the anther, you can observe that all in this all pollen grains are present, and these are known as pollen sac. Pollen sac means which hold pollens inside them. Sac is basically boring. Okay, so inside anther there are pollen grains, and then filament. What is the work of a filament? Filament basically support the anther. Okay, now let's move on. Now the next part is pistil. Okay, now the next part of the flower is pistil. Okay, which is also known as carpel. We can also call it as carpel or pistil, whatever you like. Okay, it is the female reproductive part of the flower, part of the plant. Okay, it is comprises of three parts. What are the three parts? Stigma, style and ovary. Okay, so you here this is the part of whole carpel. This is whole carpel. Okay, and the upper part is stigma. Okay, the uppermost part is stigma. The topmost part of a carpel, it is sticky and receive pollen during pollen grains. So when pollination, so whenever pollination happens, it is the part which absorbs the pollen inside it. Okay, which is the topmost part, it is stigma. Okay, and after it, this pipe like structure here, that is style, is the long tube which contains the stigma to the ovary. Okay, which connects stigma to the ovary is the style. Okay, this picture is more clear. So here you can see the topmost part is stigma. Okay, and this pipe like structure or the long tube which connects stigma to the ovary is style. Okay, and the third one is ovary. Ovary is this part of the plant here, this part of the flower which contain a lot of ovules. Okay, so here you can see this is ovary wall. This is the whole part is ovary, and this part is the this part is the ovary wall, and inside the ovary walls there are ovules. Okay, and okay children, so these are the four important basic parts of a flower, which is the calyx, which has sepals and pedicel. Okay, and then we have talked about corolla, which is the petals part. Okay, and after corolla, stamen is there. Okay, which has two parts. First is anther and the second one is filament, and after stamen we have carpel or pistil, which has three main parts, that is stigma, style and ovary. These were the four parts of the major parts of the flower. Okay, so children, here your chapter is finished. Okay, and if you have any doubt, any questions related to the chapter, you are free to ask me in your Google Meet also, and separately also if you have any